Across our feedback lines, that is 23059, our SMS number. We are streaming this broadcast live as well across our streaming platform, that is on Facebook and on YouTube. We'll be having a conversation around your business, especially with the start of 2026. What are some of the business trends that you need to adapt or to look out for as you prepare to scale your business to the next level? So that is a conversation you definitely do not want to miss. Let's get the show started with what is making headlines. Now, the first cohort of grade 10 students has officially reported to secondary schools across the country as the new competency-based education system introduced in 2017 begins implementation. At Moigao Secondary School, parents and students turned out in large numbers to witness the first day of reporting. Many parents expressed optimism that the CBE system will help identify their children's talents early and provide a strong foundation for academic success and future employment. Students displayed excitement and enthusiasm, saying they look forward to an education that will give them more opportunities to select subjects aligned with their dreams.
I'm really happy because this school is so much nice as I have seen it, and I am happy to join this school, and I feel like when I stay in this school it will teach me to know more things. And was my dream from I was a child, my dream was becoming a pilot, and I am really happy to come to this school because I have chosen the STEM pathway and I know I will make it.
Yes, this school was the dream school for my child, and because she wanted to do something related to STEM pathway, and so that she can achieve her targets, she decided to choose this school. Unfortunately, she was not selected during the first selection. We tried to do the transfer, and it also did not go. It was declined. We thank the government for thinking very fast to ensure that the head of institution of senior school can give ways to admit. So I came here personally with the child, and she was admitted. Now today we are doing the admission. Think very fast in the admission. The procedure was very clear. You go one step at a time. Until now we are through. We are just waiting to be allocated the dormitory. So it has been very efficient and very fast.
Chaos erupted early Monday at Raganga Secondary School in Kisii County after parents staged a protest over disappointing KCSE results. The demonstration escalated when angry parents blocked access to a teacher's office, expressing outrage for students at the school scored E grades. E grades. The teachers present at the school were forced to flee for their safety as tensions ran high.
Lakini mimi nimepebana na watoto wangu, nimeleta hapa Raganga ili nisaidike. Kama mimi niko na mtoto form 4 na atui chochote, syllabus ya form 1 ijaisha hadi wa sasa, na sasa mtoto ako form 4. Nitafanya namna gani?
Mwaka jana kijana wangu mkubwa alifanya akapata D plain. Na saa hii mwaka huu msichana alifanya akapata D plain. Nina uchungu kama msasi kwa hii shule. Principal please atoke.
Kama shule mzima inaweza pata a mean score of 2.4, ni kumaanisha hiyo shule hata inafaa ifungwe. Shule mzima wanafunzi 5 peke yake ndio waliweza kupata alama ya D plain.
Kama sisi wazazi hapa Raganga tuko na watoto, inafaa wakimaliza kama wa grade 9 wenye nafaa kuingia senior, shule ingekuwa na matokeo mazuri, tungeleta watoto hapa kwa sababu hii ndio shule tuko nayo karibu.
And thank you. And Cynthia, I'm concerned with the results of Raganga Secondary School, whereby there was a demonstration yesterday after parents realized that their students or their children scored D and E in their last KCSE results. Now, I'm wondering, what are you supposed to do as a parent once you take your child to school, maybe from Form 1 to Form 4? What are you supposed to be doing for that long period?
I mean, it's a good question because they say you take your children to school to be taught by teachers because you're not a teacher yourself. Yeah. Mm-hmm. And so, I mean, the basis is that they need to get education. Yeah. At this point, it's a question on who is to be blamed for the poor results at Raganga school. Yeah. Is it the teachers really? Mm-hmm. Did they not do their best? Are they teaching? Do they attend classes? Are they pushing for better scores? Is it the head teacher? who's the overall, or the principal who's overly the one in charge of ensuring that the school performs, that students have everything they need? Is it access to books? Is it access to food? Is it access to co-curricular activities? So it's, education is really a multi-sector approach. It's not about the teachers, but did they have enough support from parents? Did they have enough support from stakeholders? So I mean, they are right to express their dissatisfaction with the KCSE results, but the question is, who are they expressing that dissatisfaction to?
And what is supposed to be done after they hear out their grievances, maybe. But I also think teachers need to be supported fully by the government so that they can deliver what they're supposed to deliver. They're supposed to do it.
All right, still on matters education, secondary schools across the country continue to receive the results of KCSE, which were released last week by Education Cabinet Secretary Julius Ogamba, with day and mixed schools recording notable improvements.
Despite facing challenges such as inadequate learning materials and limited laboratory facilities, several day schools have posted better performance compared to previous years, signaling steady academic progress.
At St. Peter's Chemwa Secondary School in Kabuchai constituency, Bungoma County, celebrations marked the release of the results after the school recorded a mean score of 5.2.
A total of 26 candidates attained grades qualifying them for direct university admission.
I want to call upon the parents and be able to encourage them that a day school is equal to a boarding school. The teachers are qualified, we have the facilities, we have the facilities that it takes, because a B in a day school is equivalent to a B even in a national school. And most of our kids from the recent past years, as they go to university, they are able to qualify, they don't drop out. And therefore, the results you are seeing, they are genuine, and therefore that's why we are thanking God. Now, the main problem we have is support of lunch fee. Most of our parents try, but they have a challenge in getting lunch fee to support their children. And all the necessary materials that we require to support our learners.
Our learning environment has challenges and we have scarce resources. But we had a strong will and teamwork among our teachers. That is what I've seen. But let me talk about my area. As a senior master in the school, we are concerned about the discipline. But the past 3 years, we have had a trajectory that is positive. Most students are embracing change, even those who are having challenges with use of drugs here and there. So the population we are getting, they are embracing good behavior. And that, combined with work that is put in by teachers and support of parents and leaders that we have.
Kuwa na bidii imeweza kutuleta pamoja, tukilinganisha na matokeo yaliyopita mwaka uliopita. Nataka nishukuru Mungu kwa sababu we have doubled the number, na kwa hivyo inanitia moyo kwa community. Hata nikitembea nikielezea watu ya kwamba wakuje katika shule yetu ya Chemwa, inanitia moyo kwa sababu tunapeleka wanafunzi nambari 26. Inanitia moyo kabisa ya kwamba tunapoendelea hivi na the community pia kaendelee kutupa support, najua ya kwamba Chemwa tunaendelea. Being one of the youngest school in the community, tunashukuru kwa umbali huu. Bidii ya walimu imeweza kututia nguvu, na hata bidii ya mwalimu wetu mkuu pamoja na naibu wake ambaye amestaafu, Madam Rebecca, nataka tushukuru kwa sababu wameweza kutusaidia sana.
Now, the future of students at Loromoro Primary School in Marigat, Baringo County remains uncertain following the demolition of the school by officials from the Forest Service.
84 pupils who are attending the school are now forced to continue their lessons under a tree to ensure learning goes on despite the disruption.
The demolition has raised concerns among the local community over the continuity and quality of education for their children.
Loromoro Primary had originally been closed for over 10 years before reopening in 2024.
Residents are now calling for a permanent solution to safeguard the school and provide stability for the students' education.
kwa sababu amani imeanza kurejea. Hatuwezi kuendelea tena ku waste time. We cannot go back to Laramoru and settle in a place where there is no school. Na sisi ni watu tumesoma, tutakaaje bila shule shughuli? So ninaomba KFS, maybe if they can hold, wacha watoto wasome, kwa sababu masomo haisimami. So unajua Kenya mzima saizi watoto wote wameenda shule, kila mtu anasoma. So how do you make our children stay away from school and you want us to be like Kenyans? Unless you are telling us to go back to other kukua bandits.
As community of Endurance, as we pursue justice on matters forest, lazima watoto wetu waendelee kusoma. So shule iendelee, wakati tunaendelea kuangalia mama maslahi ya forest, watoto wetu wapate shade na wasisomee kwa mamiti, na wakubalie hiyo materials iende site ichengwe. After all, it is a temporary materials.
Uwezi ukalani ile masomo wewe mwenyewe ulipata ukiwa mchanga. Na ikiwa unaheshimu ile taaluma yako ya masomo ambayo unaendelea pata kuheshimu kwa kupatia vizazi vijavyo.
Na hii ni shule ya watoto, watu ambao ni maskini, watu ambao wamerudi, watu ambao wameanza kupendana, amani imerudi. Na hiyo shule ni shule ya mapate tu, it's semi-permanent. Na kama kuna shida yoyote kwa KFS, kuna utaratibu ya kufuata.
And you know, Jeff, if you look at the situation at Laramoru, goes back to what the former Deputy President, Rigathi Gachagua, has been talking about on leaders who need to invest in their home counties. Because, you know, has the MP done anything about it? You know, he's got access to the national government CDF funds. If indeed this school was closed for over 10 years and reopened in March 2024, then by now it should have been developed, you know, changed, revamped, you know, renovated. But for learners to study under a tree, I mean, it's not a good situation to be in, and especially, you know, with the right to access to education and quality education for that matter.
And I guess sometimes, and most of the times when you take a break, it means that maybe you feel that your energy is a bit lost. And so this is to mean once you take a break, you're coming in with a bigger strength than how you've been doing, or even how you've been behaving previously. Now, this is to clearly show that maybe after the school has been operating for some time before the closure for 10 years. This is to mean maybe they said and saw that maybe something has not been working well with them. So they decided that we sit back and reorganize ourselves for 10 years. And I'm looking at it being reopened last year, but around 2024. Then it is closed this year. This is to mean that nothing has been taking place. And just want to quote what retired Deputy President Rigathi Gachagua has been talking about it all started from the issue of the 65 billion real estate deals, and that is when he was mentioning of these northern leaders that they need to put schools and structures within their region so that they can develop their own region. So it is very unfortunate for us as a country, and maybe the stakeholders of different schools and institutions, to see that you sit down at a break of maybe 10 years, then what comes later is nothing. This is to mean you're just there as a puppet, nothing is coming out of you.
You know, leaders just need to do better. You know, have priorities. For example, this is a top priority. Shouldn't be a situation that lasts for long for students to study under a tree. And you've got other students somewhere who have got access to, you know, medical laboratories, who've got access to very nice facilities in other schools. Is quite unfair. And for you to expect them to perform just as such.
And this is under devolution.
It's quite unfair, and we hope that that situation will be sorted out. Now, President William Ruto has called on opposition leaders to abandon divisive politics and instead present a clear vision and agenda for the country.
Speaking on Monday during the commissioning of PCA Nyamachaki Comprehensive School in Nyeri County, the head of state emphasized that the people of Kenya will decide the outcome of the 2027 elections based on the performance and track record of leaders.
Ruto urged all political players to focus on development rather than political squabbles.
Unajua kuna watu wanafikiri wanaweza kunitisha hapa ati sijui one term Kasongo must go. Hiyo story tutakutana na hawa. Nyie mnanielewa? Tuko pamoja? Mimi nataka niwaambie mapema. Mimi ni rais wa Kenya leo kwa sababu nyinyi mlinipatia hiyo nafasi. Ni kweli ama si kweli? Na nyinyi mlinipatia mkaniambia enda tengeneza maneno ya masomo, enda tengeneza maneno ya kilimo, enda tengeneza maneno ya vijana kupata ajira kwa affordable housing, enda upange maneno ya matibabu. Maneno ya matibabu nimepanga iko SHA. Maneno ya elimu nimepanga walimu 1,100 nimeajiri. Maneno ya kilimo nimefukuza wakora wote nikapunguza gharama ya mbolea. Maneno ya kazi ya barabara inaendelea. Kila mtu atakuja hapa na track record yake. Mimi nauliza nyinyi watu wa Nyeri, mtu anachaguliwa huku Nyeri, MCA, mjumbe, governor ama rais, anachaguliwa kwa sura ama kwa kazi amefanya? Anachaguliwa kwa vitimbi ama kwa kazi amefanya? Si kazi amefanya? Si kila kiongozi atakuja hapa aseme kazi ile amefanya? Si nyinyi ndio mafundi? Si mtaamua ni nani amefanya ni nani hajafanya? Ama ni aje watu wa Nyeri? Nyeri tumeelewana? Negwo. Najua kuna majamaa wengine wanazunguka huku, sisi ndio tulibeba Ruto kwa mgongo tukalete hapa, sijui nini. Mimi nataka niwaulize watu wa Nyeri, urafiki hii tumetengeneza pamoja na nyinyi. Si mimi nilikuwa naibu wa rais wa Uhuru Kenyatta? Si nilikuja hapa mara nyingi? Uhuru Kenyatta akiwa amenituma. Si tukajenga urafiki? Na urafiki hiyo italetwa kasheshe na mtu mmoja? Hapana. Ikae namna hiyo. Tuko pamoja. Nyeri hoye. Nyeri hoye. Mnasema tuendelee. Na Nyeri, mtu anachaguliwa kwa sura ama kwa kazi? Kwa vitimbi ama kwa kazi? Kwa propaganda ama kwa kazi? Mimi nataka niwaulize, kama mtu hana sera, hana agenda, hana mpango, hana maono, huyo ni mtu ya kuchaguliwa kwenda mahali popote? Tunaelewana? Wale majamaa mimi nashindana na wao, agenda hawana, mpango hawana, plan hawana, maono. Kuna watu wengine wanafikiria kwamba wanaweza kuimba hapa Kasongo sijui ni one time nini ati wanitishe. Watafute mtu ya kutisha, watafute mwingine ya kutisha.
All right, let's get to the newspapers to just understand what is making headlines on the local dailies this morning. We do have the Daily Nation and the Standard newspaper. So I guess I'll kick it off with the Daily Nation. And this concerns a meeting that was held yesterday in Kilifi County. Now ODM decides, so it is decision time. Even as officials say the Orange Party must declare its 2027 elections stand this year. Now there was a Central Management Committee meeting where it sanctioned pre-election coalition talks with the ruling UDA and taking a step towards formalizing a deal to back President Ruto's re-election campaign in exchange for a share of government positions should the coalition win the next elections. So essentially, in layman's language, what the ODM party has decided is that they're going to now chart a path or a way forward with the ruling UDA party. This is after the top leadership of the party decided that they needed to get into some sort of agreement with the ruling UDA party in the run-up to the 2027 elections. But the big problem is that a number of leaders were actually missing from that meeting, including the Secretary General Edwin Sifuna, as well as the Deputy Party Leader Godfrey Osotsi. So question is, what do they have in common? Well, those two leaders are against any sort of agreement with the UDA party. In addition to that, Siaya Governor James Orengo as well has expressed his, I'd say, pessimism concerning whether or not this is a great deal or arrangement for Kenya or for the ODM party. So, however, as it stands, the ODM will be sticking with President William Ruto come 2027, and we do not see a situation where they may be launching their own presidential candidates. They may, rather have other positions, governors, MPs, MCAs, senators, women representatives. And this means that predominantly in areas where UDA is popular, they may not front their candidates there. Subsequently, in areas where ODM is popular, UDA may not front their candidates right there. So it's a matter of agreement. But with the presidency, they may be backing Ruto for 2027.
I'm looking at this in the end. It looks like something like a betrayal to the late Prime Minister Raila Odinga, because there was no agreement whereby they'll support in person maybe from UDA party. And as you've been hearing, or even as you heard of the interim party leader, Dr. Oburu Odinga, some few days ago, he talked of people why they're citing maybe the ODM party is being sold, maybe, or even being auctioned to some other people, whereby he disregarded all these statements and said that I think no one who is able to buy the ODM party because it's too expensive, too large for anyone to buy it. But now we're looking at it maybe, because I remember sometimes some leaders say that this is being sold, and I think Winnie Odinga was part of, spoke about the same thing, and I said that this party is being sold from behind, and which maybe looking at it, we're looking at and finding that maybe this looks very true, and I cite it to be a very big betrayal to the former,
I mean, the feelings may vary. Really, there are those who feel that Odinga would have wanted them to be, with UDA in 2027. There are those who feel that he may have wanted them to be with UDA until 2027, but at the same time have their own presidential candidate. So the party's top decision-making organ mandated ODM party leader Oburu Oginga to spearhead negotiations with the UDA party. Now the meeting was described as tense, and which lasted close to 6 hours, with sharp exchanges over the party's future relationship with Ruto. At the same time, according to a source who spoke to the Daily Nation, they said there was a plan to kick out Sifuna and Osotsi, but it was defeated by the majority, who felt that such drastic action would weaken or polarize the party. So that means ODM opens door for 2027 coalitions talks with Ruto. We'll be keeping tabs with that to see how it goes. Yesterday we had, I guess, a few gentlemen here who were speaking about 2027. And one of the things they talked about is how way ahead ODM and UDA are, and if the opposition would at any point try to play catch up, they'll be having a long game to do that, because they're still not decided on the candidate who they're going to front as the leader of the opposition, and so it may take quite a while. But at the same time, with the senior schools, hitches on first day of senior schools admission, well, over 1.6 million learners began reporting to senior schools yesterday, with some institutions reporting a low turnout amid complaints by parents about varied admission requirements, demands for extra fees, and inadequate facilities, including labs or dorms. Some head teachers also cited a shortage of teachers for new subjects. In the case of, there was a school which, I'm going to get the name, but we did a story about it yesterday, where over 1,000 learners were requesting to join that particular school. I mean, how many students can a school really hold for grade 10? And so this may be the situation. And this means over this 1,000 learners, as they request to join school A, then some of them were required to join school B, but they will not be reporting. So that's sort of a catch-22 situation as well, with the grade 10 learners reporting to school. And those are some of the stories on the Daily Nation this morning.
Okay, the Standard newspaper, Kenya's board newspaper, Ruto Owalo game. We are moving very close to 2027. I think anytime soon we shall see politicians released out there for campaigning. And the only thing that we keep speaking out to each and every voter out there is that you just need to vote diligently, and you have to know, even if you just splashed with a lot of money, make sure that you do it as your responsibility to make sure that you vote the right person, because a lot of confusion and convincement will be coming in come 2027, because the Standard talks of the 2027 cards. And when a Deputy Chief of Staff whose level in government protocols is understood to be at cabinet level announced his departure, the message was interpreted in many ways. One interpretation is that this was not a routine administrative reshuffle. Observers now believe that either the office he was serving in was dysfunctional or that Eliud Owalo is being dispatched to play a role in the larger 2027 Ruto matrix. Only few have accepted Owalo's claim that he left President Ruto's office to contest the presidency in 2027. That's from page 4 of the Standard. Then with the passing of Raila, many people in Nyanza will pretend to run for the presidency. History tells us that in Kenya, we always only have 2 horse races, the president and the opposition. Anybody else will be seen with a spoiler, and this is Richard Onyonga, Kisii Senator. And a presidential bid would be out here. A wild goose chase a fool's errand. If he does not vie in UDA, he becomes a kingpin of a smaller party that then fights out against ODM. This is Millie Odhiambo, Minority Whip, National Assembly, and his decision to vie for the presidency is both strategic and selfish. Strategic because Ruto, who is desperate for the Luo Nyanza vote, has pinpointed him as a significant player. Selfish because he avoids going back to ODM to fight for space. And this is Tony Gashoka, KANU spokesman. And Cynthia, I'm looking at the game here from Ruto Owalo, or the Ruto Owalo game. And as I started this from the Standard, we're looking at the game come 2027. This is a political game whereby it is a strategy for Owalo being at the cabinet level, and maybe they are what they're calling it as a reshuffling or even a shuffle, which is not official as other reshuffles are done. But maybe this is done because of maybe the selfish game, or even in advantage or benefit of Ruto come 2027, whereby Ruto is desperate or even is eyeing for this is Nyanza votes, and maybe he's got maybe he's not strong there. He's got no strong odds around Nyanza regions. That's why maybe he's trying to do a shuffle which is not ordinary as the others, and to make sure that maybe he's got a person around the same region, so that when come 2027 his votes basket will be full from the same region.
Yeah, and it's quite interesting because first you need to understand this man Eliud Owalo and the fact that he went against the tide in 2022. He did not campaign for Raila Odinga in 2022 in Luo Nyanza. He was actually campaigning for President William Ruto, including the Interior PS Raymond Omolo. And that should tell you the sort of tide they went against in 2022 and the kind of man that he is. The big question here would be, what is the end game for Owalo? Does he see himself reviving his active political career, active politics? Or, has he reached the tipping point, as a cabinet secretary, or pardon me, as a key staff in State House? He worked previously as the cabinet secretary for President William Ruto. And so there may be 2 ways to look at it. One, he actually wants to make a name for himself and try the active political aspect of it. But this may be termed as, as a dead end for him, especially with the fact that ODM is quite popular within Luo Nyanza. And I do not see any other party. They may likely be taking that away from them anytime soon. But at the same time, the fact that President William Ruto may need a point man, a man that may not have any other duties that they're assigned to within government. And this is a man that may actually do the hard work on ground, as he did in 2022, because he's got that experience, same as what PS Interior Raymond Omolo. So it's such a long game, but within the next few months, we will know the truth, really, if he's going to launch his own political party. Is he going to be in a new political party, or is he going to actually still be gunning for the or pushing for the re-election of President William Ruto?
And I think maybe this may look so irrelevant for him and maybe not convenient for him. So I think you just be fighting to see that Ruto is re-elected. But something we're waiting to see how the outcome looks like. And page 2 of the Standard, I Show Speed wins art in Kenya with the viral stance at Kacharoto. This is not so important, but you can do it at, you can read from page 2 of the Standard. American streamer electrified Kenya, gaining 360,000 subscribers in a day. He explored Nairobi, met celebrities, sampled local cuisine and boosted tourism through his viral 28 Speed Dash Africa tour. And
he's one of the content creators that has done a brilliant job in terms of showcasing different cultures. And as I said yesterday, he said he does this for the sake of people who are not able to tour the world. So if you're in somewhere in, let's say, Pakistan or in Europe and you're not able to come to Kenya, you've seen how Kenya looks like through his content creation. And you know, 2 days in Kenya, he's enjoyed it. He's got a massive following. Kenyans have been able to watch it. I've got a friend who was on their TV for the better part of Sunday as they also toured Kenya, and they're Kenyan as well. So he's done a good job.
Actually, this is a story I think I saw on Sunday evening, and I was wondering, is I Show Speed an explanation of something is like I Show Speed, or is it a name of a person?
I mean, it's his alias. His real name is Watkins Jr., so that's his alias. You know, it's quite interesting that you've asked that, because what does it actually mean? You know, you have got an alias which should, you know, resonate to something, but could be with the fact that he's got such a vibrant personality. He does not just, you know, settle. He's not conservative, but more outgoing, and you know, it's quite. He's done well.
That's why he decided to call himself I Show Speed, and he shows speed because within 1 day he got a following or subscription of 360 subscribers within 1 day. And to make it so interesting, during his Mukuru visit, I Show Speed had a viral encounter with Bradley. This is Gen Z Goliath Marongo, amazed by his towering height and huge shoes, packing a playful foot size and basketball style vertical jump. And and I said that was not so much important, but I think for tourism, it became a bit important, and maybe for the young people, it's also good to show speed into what you're doing, and maybe to just peruse within 1 minute, page 3 of the Standard. Probation, not prison for mothers with children. High Court orders, and courts must consider the age dependency of children before sentencing mothers. The ruling emphasizes. That is from page 3. Page 4, Elidowalo State House bid Ruto's rival or Eden card, from page 4. And 5, ODM big split. 2 top officials keep key meeting called by Oburu. And I think economics strain eats a senior school intakes begin nationwide. Then almost the second last one, the cast of Pioneer CB class, a journey marked by uncertainty. Remember this class? That is, it came more through from the issue of COVID-19. Then the last one, Uganda election fever via and fractured republic. And Bobby Wine, the ghetto president, fighting to free Uganda from Yoweri. And they're freeing Uganda because Museveni has been on the top seat from 1986 up to date. What next for Uganda? That's what we had for you from the newspapers.
Right, we'll be keeping tabs as well as the elections in Uganda. Somehow East Africa elections are quite interesting to watch. If you look at what happened in Tanzania, Uganda this year, Kenya next year, it's
Cameroon,
back to back.
yes,
it's back to back. All right, so we take a quick break, but when we come back, we'll be getting into the conversation that I promised you earlier on. And if you're intending to start a business or you are doing business already, this is the conversation for you, because market trends keep on changing, business trends keep on changing. So what do you look out for in 2026 to be creative and innovative in your business? That conversation returns. Don't go too far.
Yes, and before we return, remember that Uganda is holding the general elections this month come 16th. So let's watch and see how we as observers may be local, how it appears to be. Thank you. Don't go too far.